Hey, it's Ed Moses here. Welcome back to Project Mindset. You know, do you remember a time when you're growing up and you go out and you're getting your first job and your parents or somebody's telling you, you need to get a really good, safe, secure job, something that's, respectable and just stick with it until you retire someday, and you'll be safe, secure, and your life will be perfect. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you can remember hearing those words or something similar to that from somebody that you know or love in your family. And I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you something a little different. I'm going to talk about what I call, and what's been called before, the road of least resistance, the path of least resistance, however you want to call it. And it's actually the very opposite of what I just kind of described to you. It's what I was told when I was growing up. The same scenario: finding a safe, secure job, working until you retire, and everything's going to be perfect, fine. And you know what? It didn't work for me. As a matter of fact, I ended up having to do something else. I had to get out of it because it was actually driving me crazy, because I don't work in a process-oriented area that well. I'm like to jump from thing to thing because that's just my style. That's how I do things, and that's I'm going to lead into the process of the path of least of resistance, pretty much with that kind of an idea, or that kind of a scenario. So you're probably wondering, what exactly is the path of least resistance? Let me explain to you an example of somebody who didn't follow the path of least resistance first. Okay, you've got this person. They're a really good musician. They're awesome. They can play anything. They love anything music, and they go and work in a factory because their parents push them to do something like that, because they told them there's no money in music. It's really not a very good thing to do. So you got this awesome musician working in a factory. 20, 30 years later, this person's unhappy, doesn't like their life, wondered, what am I doing here? And they're miserable. Okay? That's an example of not following your greatest excitement. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would anybody do that to themselves? Now here's another scenario. You got this person that's a great musician, and their parents are trying to tell them, oh, you should go work at this factory, get this job, whatever, because music don't pay. Okay, well, this person says, screw the factory. I'm not doing that. That's not for me. I'm not interested. I'm pursuing music. So this person goes against the grain of everything they're told. They go out and they're playing music. They get a little following because they're playing in local places. This following starts to put their videos on YouTube. All of a sudden they get a larger following. Next thing you know, somebody finds them on YouTube, and next thing you know, they become international. They meet some big music agent, and they get signed a contract. They're traveling all over the world, and next thing you know, they are living the life they never thought possible, and living the life their parents never thought could happen for them, because music doesn't pay. There's a lot of examples of it. I mean, look at every single band or musician that you can find out there. That's in most cases their story, and it just blows me away when people that have an excitement in their life, they don't follow that excitement. They end up somewhere where they don't belong, somewhere that doesn't work for them, and they wonder why they're miserable, and they wonder why they're not successful. Firstly, if you're going to follow something that's not interesting to you, how can you expect to be successful at it? Because there's never going to be anything there that's going to excite you enough to want to do any better for yourself. It's more like the concept is, I just want to get this over with. I just want to do this, get it over with, and move on with my life. But anyway, the second scenario where you've got the musician that finally makes it, that's what you call synchronicity. If you don't know what synchronicity is exactly, it's when everything in your life falls into place because you're exactly where you should be at the right time. Everything just happens like it should be, in a smooth motion. That's synchronicity. That's when you're following the path of least resistance. Everything synchronizes and everything just moves like it should move. you know, a lot of people are probably would be saying, well, you know, how can I do that? You know, I mean, I'd be taking a chance, and you know, it just doesn't seem like, it doesn't make sense, and you know, it brings up a lot of questions for a lot of people, because what happens is we get raised into a belief system, and we have this belief system that kind of sticks to us forever until we learn to break it. And so what happens with this belief system is we are programmed to think, well, you know, you've got to do this, this, or this, or nothing works, you know. So, and a lot of people have this belief system where they don't feel very good about themselves as a person. They have a low self-esteem, or they just don't believe that something that they're really excited about could even make them money. And you know, that happens to a lot of people. I mean, I don't care if you're, you know, if you're into art, if you're into racing cars, if you're into macrame, I don't care. If something excites you, there's a reason that excites you. You're supposed to be there. I mean, let's think about it. All the time you're finding or hearing about people that have these really weird jobs or odd jobs that nobody's ever heard of or would never possibly think could make money doing it. They're doing it. You know, they're making money doing it, and it's mind-boggling. You know, it's, how can this happen? Well, when you take the road of least resistance, or the path of least resistance, what happens is you find the synchronization, you meet the right people, and everything falls into place for you. It just happens, and that's why successful people are successful. A lot of successful people may not even realize that they're doing what I just described. It just comes natural to them. It's just something they do. They don't think about it. They do it. So they meet people. They get excited about things, so they jump on it. You know, and you know, it's just the way it works in this world. It's just the way it's supposed to work in this world. Anytime you follow something that's not interesting to you, you will never, ever get a positive, it will never end positively, let's put it that way. You won't get what you want, and that's why you shouldn't be doing something that doesn't excite you. It doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve others. And actually, if you aren't following your greatest excitement, and you're not contributing to the world the talents that you do have, that in many ways is it's bad, because, well, I'm trying to think of the word that explains exactly what that's called. It means that you're being I can't think of the word, but anyway, it's bad because you're basically holding back from the world something you should be sharing with the world, and that's really not, it's not being fair to you, and it's not being fair to anyone else when you actually keep your talents to yourself, keep your excitements to yourself, because that's not how the world should function. So anyway, you know, my whole idea here, when I created Project Mindset, was to find better ways of doing things, and this fits right into my ideals, because when you follow your greatest excitement, or the path of least resistance, what happens is you end up in a positive situation, you end up in a successful life, and the things that you desire the most will become available to you. And that, my friend, is following the path of least resistance, and it is creating the lifestyle that you want, and that is exactly what Project Mindset is about. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, go below the video and like this video, and hey, if you know somebody that could use some help, share this video with them. And if you'd like to know more about Project Mindset, click the link below and get involved. I thank you very much for your time. I enjoyed making this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I will talk to you later now. Bye.